Mic check. Mic check. Good morning. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the RTP Rarely Typical Players podcast, where we once again cover a game that we have played.
We recover from a game we played.
I'll apologize from last week where we wasn't able to get together because I had a real life problem. And thank you all for, wishing me the best. So the problem has been fixed. And we are back. So the RPG game that we covered was named Thrall. Thrall is an RPG Maker VX game that we actually had 2 weeks this time to sit around and play the game. So, developer, you definitely got a deal this time because normally everybody else get a week. You got 2 weeks. So, before we get into the podcast, I would like to introduce my two co-hosts. First, we have myself, and then we have SG Harlequin.
What's up?
Then after SG Harlequin, we have Cychronic Games.
Yo, yo, yo. Hello.
All right. So Thrall, what is Thrall? Thrall is a RPG Maker VX game that is set more in the medieval times, but it's like a, how would I want to put it? I would set it as like I don't know. What y'all guys say it's like a medieval style game, like looking game? Cause we do got castles. We do have old school looking town folks, and
Of course, it's medieval, like
And vampires.
vampires.
Vampires are pretty medieval,
Yeah,
pretty much.
we got freaking vampires in this game that are called Thrall. So,
No.
No,
The
no, they're
Thralls
not.
are the slaves of the vampires, pretty much.
oh, okay. The what was it? New Bloods, right? If I ain't mistaken.
New Bloods is like your basic ass beginner vampire.
Yeah.
Then you got the Lords, and what was the other one? Lords, and then something, and then you got the founding vampires.
yeah, which we're gonna get into later on in the podcast.
Exactly.
So before we start, let me read you guys the quick synopsis. The world's at peril. Creatures that appeared around 400 years ago have dominated the southern hemisphere, forming their own dystopian society and are a constant threat. Most of humanity does nothing to fight back, and those that do rarely last. A stand must be taken before the rest of the world is overrun. But watch that you don't become that which you fight. So out of that, guys, what are we fighting against? So we're going to talk about the story, like what we got out the story and the plot of the game and stuff like that, to determine and let you guys know what the heck is going on. Like, what is the premise of this game, and what does the terminology Thrall means in this game? So we want to start with the sci-fi creator, Cychronic Games. Let's go.
Well, the story seems to be, you're a group of people that are, I guess, vampire hunters, and they're about to go raid a, facility that supposedly has some of these vampires there, and they in the beginning they talk a little bit about the Thrall, what they are. They're basically slaves of the vampires. So when you're running into these enemies throughout the game, they look like normal people, but I guess they've been changed somehow by these vampires. And then I guess there's, what are they called? The big vampires, the original ones, or whatever. Like I guess with each successive generation of vampire, they get weaker. So, but the original ones are the strongest. So I mean, we're talking Dracula. We're talking. Oh, it's Dracula, and who else? Who was the other one?
Vladimir.
Father and
Vladimir the Impaler.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
and so the game kind of starts off where like you get to this, you think it's going to be some kind of hard raid situation, but it ends up being a little too easy, and they're wondering why. And I guess as it goes along, though, the premise kind of involves the place you just took over being kind of like a base of operations, where you then are like trying to recruit people to join the fight, basically, and you need certain people for that. You need people that can make equipment and people that can get food and all that, and that's kind of like the premise. And there is a situation in which one of your characters, gets kidnapped, and it's kind of a mystery as to what happened to them, or I won't spoil it, I guess. And then you are trying to keep the fight going, but the demo kind of ends right at the point where you're about to find out more. So that's kind of I kind of enjoyed the story so far. I thought it was okay, actually. I don't have a dislike of vampires or anything like that. But the plot seemed like it made sense for the most part. I mostly had issue with more of the gameplay stuff, but we can talk about that later. I overall with this game, story-wise, I thought it was okay. I have kind of a mixed opinion of the game. There's some things I like about it, some things I don't. But the story was probably one of the better parts of it, in my opinion.
All right, Harlequin, what you think?
That's a good question. I did like the premise.
Sum it up in your own understanding.
Yeah. I did like the premise. Like my journey to RPG Maker started pretty much with Vampire's Dawn, right? So that's right up my alley. And having a base of operations and then upgrading that and looking for people and whatnot, that's my kind of game. But it fell a little short, mostly due to the drawn out gameplay, but it is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, Psychronic already explained what exactly happens. We already summed it up. Like the premise is nice. It's interesting. It's pretty classic. It's like your vampire hunter group trying to eradicate the vampires. That seems to be the crux of the story.
Yeah. So I like the beginning, how it started off. Your party just standing there. Somebody went off. They came back. Like, don't ever do that again. You could get a feel of how each character is playing out, especially Brutus. He seems like he's the overall baddie, tough guy. Person don't want to display their feelings, that they care. It's like he's the one that can't really tell you he cares for you. He could just show it in action that he cares for you, but probably would never admit that he cares for you or any of his party members like that. But starting off, you down the line, you do occupy a fort. Then you lay siege to it and basically take over it. And that's where the gameplay really starts, because you're discussing that you need more recruits. You need more people you need to gather more people in order for you to stand a chance against the bigger threat. So you learn about other, sub characters or NPCs, as you want to call them, where they could be beneficial to your party. And By beneficial, we talking about a blacksmith, somebody that can create armor, create weapons, give you extra space so you could carry and hold more stuff. People that can sell items, anything that you need in order for you to stand a chance. So I don't think we could really spoil too much because the demo didn't really give you, it wasn't like very long where you can actually get a grasp of trying to spoil a story. But
Well,
go ahead.
oh yeah, and for me too, like when it comes to spoiling stories, like so it doesn't. So if I hear about a story ahead of time, it doesn't actually spoil it for me. So I don't know when I'm spoiling it for someone else because I don't necessarily care about finding out ahead of time that something happens in a story. For me, it's more like, okay, I want to see how it played out to that and whether the execution was good or not. So it never really spoils it for me. But that's just my thoughts on it. But
out of curiosity, a member do get kidnapped. Who did you choose? Who did you guys choose? Because maybe there's a plot twist somewhere, like in the story.
Yeah, I already told on your stream. I had the white-haired guy kidnapped.
Damien, what is his name? Damien.
I don't fucking know.
I believe so.
Yeah. I chose him too. Same guy. Yeah.
All right. So, to my understanding, one of the characters, we didn't choose the right character in order to notice a change in the story. So I
don't think there is any, to be honest.
I believe on my end, it was the purple haired girl knew the blacksmith. That's the one that knew him. So we would have chose her, then maybe we would have got a different outcome. I'm not sure.
What happens after you get the blacksmith? Does it unlock something?
When you go and rescue him, they have a heart-to-heart conversation, and he lets the girl know that everyone in her town is dead, basically.
Oh no, I don't mean story-wise. Does having the blacksmith like unlock something, like a crafting system or something?
Not crafting system, but you can sell your items and you can buy stuff. And
I don't think it's gonna change then. Like that seems like a very
so you think
not important. I think not as early. Maybe later choices do something, or maybe it's doing something with the ending, depending on who got kidnapped. But I don't think the mechanics would change. Like having like a shop in your base is like a pretty essential thing. I don't think your first target would have changed if you chose to go. I don't think so.
If we would have chose the girl, then maybe one of the other characters would have been from that town.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think the entire story playthrough would change. Maybe just minor dialogue or other things lore-wise, but I don't think they would have gone to a different location.
Yeah.
Well, I think we have the dev in the chat.
Yeah.
He's saying
Jaman,
for the demo.
Oh.
Jaman Anderson is the developer for those who wants to ask them questions and more insight about the game. Definitely.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I wouldn't think that they change that the choice has a consequence so early in the game. I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
But reading the the synopsis, you get the indication that there will be, what I mean, there's different paths. It said between 1 to 2 hours depending on the path you play. So I'm not sure what that means, but that's the indication that I got from, playing the demo. I'm thinking, oh yeah, replayability, which can be true. Which can be true in this type of game. So yeah, I did stream this game yesterday. I streamed it on my stream. And I try to stream games before the podcast. So yeah. So that's pretty much the story. Where our buddy got kidnapped. Whoever you choose got kidnapped. Well, you don't directly choose them. You just tell one to stay behind and and stuff like that. But you do have a choice in that. And they get kidnapped, but you vow to, retrieve them, find them, whatever it takes. But you realize you're not strong enough, especially going against Vlad and Dracula. Dracula, the powerfulest, the strongest vampire. Because I think in vampire lore, the older the vampire, I could be wrong. The older the vampire, the stronger they are, I guess. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I guess it's different lore. But yeah, these are the known first vampire. I think Vlad is the first, and Dracula is the second because that's his son. I guess I'm just making assumptions because Vlad and Dracula are was based on the real person that did some crazy mess back in the day. So we're not strong enough. We need to recruit a whole bunch of people, and that could be beneficial. We run into a couple soldiers. Well, a soldier that can bring more soldiers to the fort, to make the numbers better and bigger, increase the strength. And we just recruit some people along the way, but we don't really know who, because the demo didn't last that long and stuff like that. All right, so that's pretty much a quick synopsis of what we understand the story to be. All right, so every game depends on this function right here. Whether you're an RPG, an action platformer, or a venture, whatever. And we're talking about gameplay mechanics. As you can see, this game is a turn-based RPG. It has some action sequencing, and it introduces a skill tree. But the developer went all the way out to make his game interesting. And he decided to create a unique loot system for the player to customize and strategize their members. So we're going to talk about this because this is definitely getting a lot of heat, and it could definitely have a lot of mixed reactions for those who played the game. So we started with Synchronic Games first. So we're going to go straight to Harlequin on this one. Like, what do you think about...
Look at him giggling to himself, man.
What do you think about the system overall? Like, everything in
I
the whole...
I fucking hated the gameplay in this game. I hated it. It's super annoying. Like, what they did here is essentially they introduced a Diablo style loot system into a slow turn-based game. So what happens is whenever you win a battle, you get a shit ton of trash items that you gotta sift through in order to like upgrade your gear. But most of it is trash, so you throw it away anyway. Like, don't even bother picking up white items because they trash. So, and you only have 10 slot. Like, you can carry 10 weapons and 10 pieces of armor and 10 items. So you get this loot screen, you get a bunch of trash items and maybe a green one or better, and you can't compare them to what you have because the loot screen only shows you your backpack. So what's the point of that? Like, you cannot determine whether or not anything is better than what you have because you don't see what you have. You only see your fucking backpack.
Hold on. The developer did say you can see the characters and their equipment on the loot screen.
Well, did you see him? I didn't.
Afterwards, not during the stream, but afterwards, I did. You gotta hit the A key. Gotta hit the A key. Okay. Guess you didn't know it. I didn't either. Know it. I did not know it.
I didn't know it.
You
either.
did the tutorials. I mean, I didn't, so I could say, well, I didn't do the tutorial, so that's on me. But since you guys did the tutorial and don't know it either,
I don't remember seeing.
I didn't do the tutorial.
I
almost never do them.
I don't remember seeing the A key.
I mean, even if
honest,
it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Like, even if there was a button, it's not really intuitive, right? So that's my point. And you got all these battles. Like, they have so many on-map encounters. They might have just used random encounters and it would have been exactly the same.
Okay.
They respawn so quickly, and there's so many of them, you're just constantly battling, and you're constantly thrifting through these items. All the time, every time. You're going into the menu all the time, checking your fucking equipment all the time. Like, let me play the damn game, for Christ's sake. Right, so you start out in the mine. That's like a fucking 5-floor dungeon as a first, and I'm getting all these items. I don't need no blacksmith. I have enough equipment to equip the entire fucking world.
Facts.
Like, look how many items these drop. I don't need a blacksmith. I have everything.
Facts.
Right? So yeah, and like the battle was equally as annoying. Like, not only has it been so many, every few steps you get another battle. The skills, I don't know. There's a skill tree, but who gives a shit? Attacking works. You can just spam attack all day. It doesn't even matter. Like, I just attacked the spider boss in the mine. I didn't even bother killing the slimes. I just hit the space bar the entire fucking playthrough. It works. I don't give a shit. I didn't heal anyone. I don't care. I didn't even pick any items up.
Oh,
doesn't matter.
Gosh.
Everyone gets revived with 1 HP. That's good enough. Just attack. It works. It fucking works. Why would I care about your skill tree if attacking works?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to tell you, man. Attack.
I unlocked a random bunch of skills on there. I didn't even read it. I just unlocked shit because I had the points. I don't care. I didn't use a single skill in this game. There was no need to.
Actually, when I got to the spider, the spider was actually pretty hard for me, but that's because I was trying. As you said, there's so many battles that I was actually trying to avoid them. So I was just like literally running to the 5th floor as fast as I could, and then so I was under leveled by the time I got to the spider. So there might be
like level 7.
Yeah, I think I was like level 5 or level 4 or something. So there might be like a there might be like some balancing issues related to if you overdo it.
Absolutely, I was level 7. Those slimes, man, they did 1 damage to me. Like, they did nothing. The spider did like 23, and you have like 120 HP. Who gives a shit? Just attack until it's dead. Works.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really like there's no strategy here. Like, it's a turn-based game, right? So. And it's not fast. It's not like this is a fast-playing game. It has an ATB system for some reason, and it's just a turn-based game. I don't know who thought combining that with a shit ton of trash items is a good idea. and all the menuing is a good idea. I don't know, but like the combat is not really strategic. I don't have to think anything. Like if this was MV, I wouldn't even need to stop hitting my spacebar. It could just hold it down.
Also, they really could. The battles could really use some battle backgrounds.
Oh yeah, that too. Like presentation, like the mapping and stuff is great, but no battle packs. What? It's just a black shadow on the ground. Like that's kind of boring. Oh my god! And since I see it on the screen, there is so many misses in this game. Holy shit! Holy fucking shit! Every second hit is like a miss in this game. Like fuck.
And
let me hit something with my wet noodles.
And another thing, the enemy was frozen, and I'm still missing him. Like, well, how?
Well, maybe you slipped on the ice or some shit like that. I don't fucking know. So many misses, man. I was like, Jesus, die already.
All right, so I'm gonna give my take on the loot system, right? And this is the problem with your loot system. All right, so you're introducing. I'm going to say that the items are scaling based on your level. You get some that's above your level. You may get something that's a level above. You know what I mean? I never got anything that was 2 levels or more above. You know what I mean? Always got stuff that was a level above or lower. So
yeah, it seemed like it. Yeah.
So all your items are the same, like the same name, the same gear name, everything. So I have a golden weapon. I'm not sure y'all got the gold weapon.
Yeah, in the chest. Yeah. I don't know why that's there. That seemed like a developer cheat weapon kind of. I don't know.
That levels up. That increases with your level too. You know what I mean?
So it's maybe a test item to test play leveling items or some shit.
I don't know, but it took a long time for me to get a weapon that was stronger than that. But I still kept it. The problem with this game is, you know what I mean? You don't really. What's the point of having a blacksmith if the blacksmith is selling less than the items that you have? Because when I freed the blacksmith, all his items was trash. Every single item wasn't even worth buying. Because I already had superior gear than the blacksmith. It's awful.
That's like a Diablo sickness. You don't buy shit in an ARPG, right? You don't play Diablo to buy gear from an NPC.
Yeah.
It's not how it works, right?
Yeah.
But it's still there. Why is it there? Nobody knows, but it's there.
Yeah, and this is the problem. The blacksmith should sell a tier weapon, certain tier weapons. And given the fact this is a dungeon crawler, randomized dungeon crawler, you should implement a crafting system into this game. Maybe you got to get different elemental ores to make the elemental weapons, or certain ores.
You could just go with what Diablo usually does. Like you can trash your items into materials basically and craft legendaries out of them.
Yeah.
Something like that
might work. That would make sense. Yeah.
But it would be annoying in this game because it's too much menuing, right? When you play an ARPG, you usually play with a mouse, or at least most of us do, right? So it's quick. You just click shit. You just right-click shit and trash. And this, it doesn't work here because you gotta move a cursor with your joystick or your keyboard manually. It's not click. It's not right click done, right click done. It's you gotta navigate the cursor to the item, then get a choice window, and then move it out of your inventory or trash it or whatever. It takes too long. It's slow. It's sluggish. It takes too much time and it's annoying to use.
Yeah, it takes forever. It seems like after every battle, you gotta unequip and re-equip something better every battle. Like you're not getting the time to enjoy that cool fire rod you just got or that ice mace that you just got. there's no time to enjoy it because the next battle, you know you're gonna get something stronger. You know you're gonna get something stronger. And there's no, I understand you can salvage and stuff, but what's the point? We already
Yeah, it's like Diablo. Then you trash your items on the go, basically. So instead of throwing the loot away, you're gonna trash everything, and the parts you get, the materials you get, you can then use probably at the blacksmith to like craft other gear. I don't know why, because getting new gear is like every other fight. So I'm not sure why you even would use crafting, but who knows.
All right, and another thing, right? The extra feature that he said that's available, and he said that I didn't do it during the stream, and another streamer didn't do it during the stream. I did do it after the stream because I did play for like about an hour to see, not even an hour, you know, because he did say if I beat the spider again, you get to see what the town looks like when everybody is there. So I was able to see that extra menu with the character with the equipped item, and it do tell you this item is stronger than the one that you already have on. But the problem with that is it's extra steps. I gotta hit the A button, then I still gotta go to each item to see if I want it or not. You know what I mean? Then I gotta cycle through the other characters and do the same thing. So it's gonna take a minute to 2 minutes to decide if I want to keep these items or not. And I'm not done because I still gotta go through my regular inventory and get rid of stuff. You know what I mean? And make space for other stuff. So it's just take too long. It takes a long time. The easiest way for this is how I would have done it. Do it the regular RPG Maker way. Just give it to us, whatever's in excess, we could sell. Or if we have something that's stronger and we click on it, we should be able to auto equip it from the menu. Like from that loot menu, we should be able to equip stuff, you know, auto equip from the loot menu. Not sure there's a plugin to do it that way, but that's the more simpler way. Because your player is spending more time in the menu than they are playing the game. If you watch my stream, and you can see on screen right now, I'm spending more time in the menu, in the loot menu, than anywhere part of the game.
Yep.
I did add up the time. Like I did watch the video and I did add up the time. I'm in the loot menu longer than the battles. You know what I mean?
And you constantly repeat it too. Like every battle could give you a better item.
Exactly.
So you're doing it all over again. Every battle, you're going into this fucking loot screen and comparing your shitty gear for 3 characters.
Then
like there's a reason why you only play one character in a Diablo game, because nobody has time to equip 3 of them.
Exactly.
And worry about 3 skill trees and 3 different builds and 3 different items, item sets and whatnot. Like nobody has time for that shit.
No, we really don't, because it could just cause frustration. It's going.
I stopped picking up any item that was not a healing item because it's so annoying. Like, what am I gonna do with these trash items? What am I gonna do with a bomb? Like, I deal 40 damage with my weapon or whatever. Why would I use a bomb? Fuck that shit. Just give me my regular potion and be done with it.
He said it's designed as a way to balance the odds in case you don't find any good loot for a while, and make something that will last several levels instead of just one.
I don't know how the later game works, but in this demo, you're getting a new weapon almost every battle.
Yeah, you're getting something better every battle. I'm constantly swapping out.
Yeah, it was a lot of loot. Like every battle is like a lot of loot, and you only have like 10 slots, and so it's. I found it kind of annoying as well. I mean, there's parts about this game I did like, but the loot part was kind of it wasn't.
Yeah, I did it just like you would in Diablo. Yeah. Don't even look at the white items. Don't even look at them. Just leave them there. Pick up anything that's green or better, and you're gonna have a better time. Like don't look at gray items. That's wasted time.
I found a purple item though.
Yeah, pick up everything that's not white. That's much more manageable.
But that's the thing though. Sometimes white be stronger than purple.
It could be, yeah. If you have a purple weapon that's like level 3 and you're level 6 now, the white weapon you find for level 6 is gonna be stronger, yeah. But like overall, it's less tedious if you just don't give a shit about the white items.
Yeah, it's a chore, my guy. I like the system. Don't get me wrong. I just think it's flawed in design.
Yeah, it doesn't work because it's RPG Maker. It would work better if you had a higher resolution game and you could fit like 3 windows on there and you had a mouse control system. Like hover over the item, pop up the comparison window like it would in Diablo or any other ARPG, so you can compare it directly to what you're wearing. Nobody gives a shit about the backpack. Compare it in the window itself, right? But it doesn't work here because A, the window is too small to even fit 3 windows on there, and B, you don't have mouse control, so you still gotta manually navigate that cursor through every item, even if you did make a pop-up window.
Now, once you get the blacksmith, you could play the dungeons over and over, right? So, I guess the developer he wants their player to grind, and maybe it's designed in a way where you drop all these items so you can sell these items, and make money and stuff like that. Because I don't think that the monsters drop gold at all. I think you get gold maybe from treasure chests and selling items. But still, the fact that we have to do this crazy item management is crazy. Is you got to have a strong will to do that. And like I tell everybody, when I play online, I play different than I do offline. You know what I mean? And when I was playing this game offline, I was even more frustrated. And you gotta think about it.
Because you're actually invested. Like when you stream, you entertain people. Yeah. It's not as bad.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? What is this? Then going to the blacksmith and seeing his items, it's worse than the ones. It's not even worth buying. I'm like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like,
what a story, man. They need a blacksmith to fight Dracula.
I understand that, my guy, but still,
I don't understand the plot in the first place. Like, it's a classic like RPG thing, right? Where you introduce the great evil right at the start of the game, and your quest to defeat them is kind of urgent, but nobody gives a shit, right? So you got your comrade kidnapped, right? So and you realize you're too weak. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but by the time you get at a fucking army, that guy is dead.
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense. It's like in Skyrim, you see that big world-eating dragon, but yeah, it's alright. Just spend 200 hours picking flowers and shit. It's okay. They're gonna wait for you.
Yeah. So, I mean, if there's any way, I mean, I can't tell you what to do as a developer. You got to figure that out on your own. Of course
not. That's not our job.
But at the same time, you got to analyze and listen to your players. Maybe get more people to play the game and see what their reaction to this loot system is. Of course, some people's gonna like it. some people's gonna like it, but you got 3 people right here saying, I wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even touch this with a 10-foot pole. Not this way, where I'm constantly going over all my items, every single one, bit by bit, to compare stats and get rid of, and I gotta do it for each one. When I'm done with a battle, I want to hit confirm, see what I got, confirm. That's it. And on to the next, probably explore for 2 more minutes until I get another encounter. Then explore for 2 minutes before I get another encounter. I don't want to get in another encounter, be in the battle for a minute, because your battle should not last no more than a minute, 2 minutes, then spend another battle, going through items. I don't want to do that, to be honest.
I mean, like, these turn-based RPGs are very menu heavy already by default, right? You're always in the menu, you're always checking something, using items, equipping items, you're always in the menu somehow. And you just went and made it worse. When the goal should be to reduce menuing as much as you can. Because nobody want to spend time in the menu. Nobody.
Exactly. And another thing, if this is your system, and you're guaranteed, the enemy seems to scale with you. Not as much. It seemed like there's a cutoff, because I think I was like a level 11, when I went in the maze the second time, and the spider was still level 8, level 7, and one attack, he pretty much was dead. But the way he's designed, you got to go through all the phases, like all the his elements. You got to fight with all his elements, and it was easy peasy. I thought, but the game says that it's going to be harder, which it wasn't. But the problem is, I got the best loot. I got the better loot. So regardless of what I do, I could be in a low level area. I'm making assumptions now. I haven't been in the other areas yet, because only one in the demo. You could probably farm that early area, get the best gear that's possibly known to man, and go to the next dungeon and do the same thing, without even have to go on upper floors. If the system is like that, like if the drops is based on your level and it scales, then you have a broken system somewhere. There ain't gonna be no need for any shops unless to get rare, like gold armor and stuff. That's probably the only benefit you probably have with the shops. If you could get gold armor or purple armor, that's it.
I mean, the shops should be random and scaling, just like the loot in the first place. Like, that's how it works.
It's not. Trust me. I could pull it up right now, go to the shop, and everything that he sells is like level 7.
I mean, it's pretty common for these types of games that the shop is shit. Like, it's just there because that's what you gotta have in a game or some shit. I don't know. But usually, like, the gear they sell should be at least your level. And should have a chance of, like, rare items appearing in there. That's how it should be.
Yeah, it's not rewarding, though. It's not rewarding towards the player. I
mean, if you rescue the blacksmith and he's immediately useless, that's shit. That's just shit.
Super useless. Super duper useless.
Like, you go through all this time. It took me over 1 hour to rescue that motherfucker. Because the dungeon has 5 fucking floors and is annoying as heck because there's so many enemies in there and they constantly fucking respawn. So it took me an hour to get there. I unlocked that guy and he's immediately useless. Like, what?
Yeah. So, I don't mean to ruffle any feathers to the developer. I mean,
that's what I'm here for.
I really, do hope the best. for every developer game that that we cover on this podcast, our intention is definitely not to hurt feelings. It's definitely to, upbring and boost everybody's confidence, in game making. But overall, man, I mean, the game looks nice. It plays nice. The battles are simple. My only complaint is the loot screen and maybe, some of the weapon scaling. Like if the shops are based on your level, if that, like you got to question yourself. Do my player grind, or do they just fight battles and just go on ahead and fight whenever they have to fight? I think a person who grinds like me is going to dominate the game and just go ham. A person that's
I
played
didn't
normally
grind at all.
they may run into some issues and stuff like that because the enemies may be higher than them. They may not have the best gear for that fight.
It could be, but if you so I did not grind. I didn't try to grind. I just couldn't get away because the enemy runs so fast. Like it's running on your speed. So whenever you do a shitty turn, they're gonna catch up to you. So I pretty much just cleared every floor and went on, and I was like level 7. So I didn't grind, but like it's not only the loot system. The combat is pretty bad, in my opinion, as well, because it's all pointless. You have this whole ass skill tree that doesn't mean anything when I can just spam the attack button and win anyway.
Yeah.
It's not fun. Like, of course, I could use the skills, but why would I? Like, they have long-ass cooldowns. You call it turns, but you have an action time battle system. They are not turns. You don't have turns in your game. Call it actions, because that's what they are. They have 30 actions cooldown, not turns.
Yeah.
That's for one. And, like, when I read my one skill that I have, like with Brutus, you have, like, one skill, and that's Rage, which I think puts him on auto battle, if I remember correctly. I don't even know.
I didn't use that skill.
Also, there seemed to be a lack of healing ability.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't find no berries and nothing in this game. I don't fucking know. But like, it's all pointless. Like, the systems are there and they could be fun, but when attack button works just as well, why would I care about your skill system? Why would I go through the menu in which I spend too much time already to check your skill tree and read all the skill descriptions when I can just hit the attack button and win?
But to the credit of the skill tree, it actually looked pretty nice. Actually,
it looked nice, yeah.
But you're right though, as far as like it didn't feel even relevant to being able to complete a battle. Like, so the skills have to matter. The skills have to matter.
Yes, absolutely. Like, you have one skill per character, except for the mage. She had 3 to choose. And like, yeah, but it doesn't matter. I don't give a shit. I just attack. It works.
Yeah, the skills seems not to be useful like that. Only like the mage skills seems to work the best because the extra burn effect and the effects that causes them to lose a turn. But everybody else's skills, like the healing skill, and it seemed like most of the skills were passive too. It depends on what weapons you have equipped as well.
Yeah, it's fine. Like, the design of the skill tree is generally fine. Like, passives and shit like that is cool. It's to make a character build. But that's cool. People like that, but it's useless.
Yeah, but because your weapons are scaling higher than what the skill is expected to do.
Yeah, it's pointless. It's not relevant.
That's the reason why you could just spam the attack button and just debo. Even even the weapon skills is based on your attack. So you can do so much damage doing the weapon skill than your regular skill do, which is understandable because they're like focused, they're like limit breaks, but still they OP in the way too. You know, once you get to that certain level, man, you could just cause domination everywhere. Like it's crazy.
I didn't even get to that part. Like, I was just mashing my space bar the entire game. It's like, when does it end?
Yeah. So you gotta ask. I mean, you gotta be like, okay, what do I have to do?
I couldn't even really tell, to be honest. Like the system, each individual system is there and it works, but like it doesn't work together. Like for me right now, this game is a pretty package, and that's it. It's empty. There's nothing in this package that's fun. Like it looks nice, the mapping is cool and everything, but it's boring.
Yeah. So I'm like this. I mean, everything seems to be holding together except the battles. That's the only thing. Like,
yeah, well, that's like the most important part. Like that's what you do the most.
And
most of your time is menuing or battling.
And you gotta have a good battle system because the game is a dungeon theme. I'm pretty sure, you know, each game is gonna. I mean, each level is gonna be the same premise. You know, there's no overworld map because you go to the horse would take you to the destination where you want to go.
Yeah, it's in a sense it's similar to my game. Like you have this hub area, which in my game is the city, and in this game you got your fort, and you branch out to these different locations to accomplish whatever goal, and you probably do a dungeon every time.
Yes.
And yes, I don't know.
Yeah, you do it.
Doesn't work.
You do a dungeon and you go through different floors, and everything is random. It doesn't matter. It's random, but it felt the same each time.
It doesn't matter. Like the map layout, who gives a shit, right? You're just looking for the hole in the floor.
Exactly. So. But everything else looked nice. The maps, the music was pleasant. The mapping looked good. You know.
Yeah, the package is nice. Like the gift wrapper is cool, but the gift is empty. That makes sense.
Oh man, he said.
Well, it's not. I mean, it can all be fixed. It can all.
Yeah, of course it can be fixed. That's what we're here for. And I mean, the story isn't that bad, and I didn't see any game-breaking buggy events or anything. So the game works at least. That's more than many other games accomplish in this engine. So that's good. But like the game is made in a Diablo style way, and you don't play Diablo style games for the story. You play that once and then you just grinding gear. That's what you do in these games, and for this game to be similar to that, who gives a shit about the story? Give me cool stuff, right? But it doesn't happen here. You just fucking attack all the time and then you get a shit ton of trash items.
Yeah. That's it.
And I can't really rate the story because all I've seen is like me running through a fucking mine for an hour to rescue a useless blacksmith. So what's the story here? Like the characters are written well. They each have their own personality and whatnot. But like at least for me, I'm not the biggest story guy. Like that doesn't carry the game for me. Maybe for Psychronic, but not for me. Like, I need my gameplay.
Yeah, for me it's the story that carries any RPG. Of course, the gameplay, if it's good, it enhances it and makes me go, man, I'm fucking hooked on this game. But
you're the type of guy who would play a game that has bad gameplay as long as the story is great.
Yeah, if the gameplay was jank but the story was good, I'd still enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm the other way around. If the story is good but the gameplay fucking sucks, I'm gonna fucking refund the game.
So, will you refund this game if you pay?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What about you, Cychronic?
Absolutely.
What about you? Will you refund this game? Or will you
No,
give?
I never refund games. I kind of just take it. I kind of just take the hit if I play.
Just taking the L.
If I play a game and then I don't like it, I kind of just put it down and then move on to something else. But
It
I don't go
depends for
to.
me. Like if I just ended up not being that much into the game, I usually don't refund it. But usually, if I'm just meh about the game, I usually play for more than 2 hours at least. Like if a game is annoying like that, though, I'm not gonna play for 2 hours. I'm gonna refund it because I'm a poor ass motherfucker. I need my monies.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Bro. I mean, like these days, we just can't throw money away. And
Yeah, there's a million other games I can try with that refund money. You know.
exactly. So, developer, if you are still listening to the podcast, thumbs up everywhere around the board except the battles and the loot system. Another thing that I do not like is your character's stats are basically the same. A mage has high attack, low defense, low attack, high magic attack, and high magic defense. Not in this game. My mage has high attack, high defense, high resistance, high everything.
It comes down to the skill trees, I would assume. Like every character is pretty much blank.
No.
But they specialize. Like the one guy has like knife abilities to make like knife attacks stronger. So I guess you could build him using knives, which probably have a lower attack but a higher crit rate. But you could technically use a sword too and go like a different build.
But everybody can equip.
Yeah, they can equip. But your mage probably has a passive skill that increases damage from staffs. So you're gonna end up using
the only thing I
instead.
saw was elemental weapons.
I'm not sure. I just know the white hair. No, not the white hair guy. Or was it the white hair guy? I don't know. One fucking guy had a passive for knives specifically.
Yeah, stalking.
So,
once you go in stalk mode, you do 50% extra damage. And
yeah, and he has a passive skill that increases his damage output if he has a knife.
yeah, but
And that's how the character build works. Like you can equip everything, but your character skills specialize him into one weapon.
but
And that's how you're supposed to build them.
You gotta ask yourself this too. Most players is going to equip what they see green and not red.
Of course,
correct?
it doesn't work because that's exactly why Diablo only has one character you play.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter about the passive. That don't even matter in this game.
If I get a 3% damage buff if I'm using a knife and I find a sword that has 30 more damage, of course I'm gonna use the fucking sword.
You're gonna use that until you get something better.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Then it's gonna average out. Okay, I'm still taking
I see
this.
the intention, but
It ain't working. That's why
Yeah,
you
it's
gotta
not working.
limit. That's why you gotta limit certain items to certain classes.
Yeah, you could have each class have their own like 3 different weapons. Like the guy could use a knife, maybe a short sword, or what I don't know, a bow or whatever. And then you have in your skill tree, you have like 3 different sections, like one for a knife, one for a short sword, and one for a bow, right? So you could specialize them as you want, but they are still limited to their class weapons instead of just being able to wear every fucking thing.
Exactly, and to be honest, it would have made everything so simple, like item management so simple. Because
it would make it a little bit more simple because you would already know that your sword is better than what you just found, or you didn't find a sword or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because you know this character, you want this character to wear these exact weapons instead of just anything. Because I'm equipped the way I was playing, I was equipping anything green.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I was
saying?
just going through the menu, every character, zap through it, whatever is green, equip,
Exactly.
green. Doesn't matter. And I don't think there's even two-handed weapons. Like, you could use a spear in the shield, and a sword in the shield, and a whatever in the shield. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually didn't pick up on the colors of the items. I thought that they were. I actually just looked at the numbers because I didn't know. I didn't know that green was better than white or.
Yeah, I expected it as soon as I saw it, because I did play a lot of ARPGs, and I'm like, okay, that's item rarities, and there's so many white items, you probably don't even need to look at them for the most part. Because that's how every ARPG works, every one of them.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's
Yeah, the
how
thing
it
is, like, in an ARPG, you don't get that shit in your menu. You just get a loot explosion on the ground, and if you just see white, you just move on. You don't have to sit in the menu. That's why it works. You don't have to care about all that shit. But in this game, it opens a fucking menu, and you gotta look at it. You're forced to look at it, or you're forced to click away twice, because you can't just close the menu. You gotta confirm to close the menu too. Like, that's all extra steps that's keeping me from playing the damn thing.
Exactly. I mean, we tried our best though. I mean, I like the game. I want to see. I like to play more of the game. If this stuff,
I've seen much worse. Like, there's much worse games, and as I said, like, the packaging is nice. Just gotta figure out how the gameplay will work, actually.
yeah.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the game as well for the most part. But yeah, because I was more interested in the storyline that was happening. I think it's a matter of just tweaking some stuff, changing some of the ways that it's done, or the way it's executed, and it should be a much better game.
I mean, funnily enough, like, being interested in the story was actually detrimental for you because you skipped the battles, so you're gonna struggle.
yeah, I did too. Yeah, I was trying to. I was trying to avoid the battles. Yeah, I was just like, "Where's the next hole? Where's the next hole?"
Yeah, that's kind of ironic. Like, you screw yourself over not battling because you're not getting the scaling.
Well, I got through it. I got through the whole thing. I just had to. dive.
I mean, yeah, but consider this is only the first dungeon.
Well, yeah,
and your level detriment is only gonna increase as much as you avoid fighting.
Yeah.
I didn't grind or anything, but I didn't run either, and I was on par with the spider level. So the balancing is whack anyway. Like, if I can beat a boss with just attacking and don't even give a shit about my health bars, that's not balanced. I'm sorry.
If I recall correctly, I don't think this game gave you the option to run away.
Nope. It doesn't.
No, I didn't. I mean, I didn't look, but I don't think so.
It doesn't. I don't think so. I didn't run.
Oh man. I mean, I tried to run away from the event a couple of times, but yeah, it's on the same speed as you. Like, avoiding these battles is hard.
Yeah, and then they're always at little choke points where you can't really run around.
Like, the entire map is very narrow. Like, every room is separated by a one-tile pathway and shit like that. So that's another thing. Like, you're obviously not supposed to run away from battle, so why do you even have on-map fights?
I always prefer on map.
Yeah, I do too. Mainly because there's more life on the map, but technically speaking, in this game, you don't really need on-map encounters if you don't give your player the opportunity to avoid encounters.
You can run away. The enemies ain't that fast where they can catch you.
They're exactly as fast as you are.
They'll stop and walk away after certain amount of...
after you triggered 4 other battles, yeah, right. Because you have so much space avoiding them all, right?
Oh my gosh, I'm done.
Look at that, there's only one tile way everywhere. The only way you could run away is like running in circles in the same room or some shit like that. I don't fucking know.
Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah, man, that's more annoying than just auto-attacking the battle. Like, if I have to sneak and run in circles to avoid the enemies, then I might just as well fight the 30 seconds.
Also, there's something else I noticed about the icons. I believe these icons are using what is called the large icon set. And I have no problem with it. I used to use the large icon set, but I guess it's kind of Frankenstein together from a bunch of different games, and it's not technically like that icon set is technically not. I think legally or like copyright ish wise, it might. I think there was issues with it.
Oh,
I just recognize a lot of the icons because I used to have the same icons when I used that set when I was first starting out. So
yeah, I don't know about that.
yeah, yeah. I've seen those icons before. I don't have a problem with it. I think people are too uptight about the copyright shit, but it just if the.
I mean, it is still illegal to sell a copyrighted thing on Steam, though, so you should probably look into that.
I'm not even sure if this is a commercial game. I'm assuming it is.
I mean, you called it a commercial game on the stream description, so I was just going with that.
I guess so. Not sure. Could be wrong.
If it's not a commercial game, like I don't really give a shit. But if you're trying to sell copyrighted shit on Steam, you probably should fix that. I mean, not many are gonna notice anyway, and you're probably not gonna get in trouble for it. But I don't know. I would still fix it.
Because it's RPG
if it is
Maker?
copyrighted.
Because it's RPG Maker. That's why you're saying that.
No, because the game will have zero audience and nobody's gonna play it anyway.
So the biggest discussion basically was the loot system. So
and the combat system.
And the combat. So definitely listen to other cries and pleas from other players too, and try to compare notes and stuff. You did mention that the other streamer enjoyed the loot system. I really enjoyed it. But that goes to show that there's different people, different opinions. Some people may love it. Some people may not even be bothered.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it so much if I could actually specialize my characters, but that's not what you do in this game. You just equip whatever is better.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what drops. It's just, oh, there's a green number, equip that. And it's not like you're trying to make a build, like an end game Diablo build, where you look for specific numbers or specific items. Like, we're in the first dungeon, nobody gives a shit about that yet, right? So you're just equipping whatever is better, and that makes it worse.
And another thing, guys, I did get a sneak peek at the end of once you do recruit everybody. The developer said, beat the spider again. You get a sneak peek at the recruits in the castle. So you go to the castle. There are extra NPCs there. I guess you recruit them from, the different quests and stuff. I have a feeling that this game is going to be every time you recruit somebody, you got to go through a dungeon to get that cutscene and fight a boss. I have a feeling that's how the game is going to be designed. I have a feeling. And the higher you go, the further in the game, the more floors you got to travel. Maybe 10 floors for some dungeon. Maybe 20 floors for some dungeons. Maybe 100 floors for the last dungeon. I don't know. But I can...
Hey, that's only dungeon rummage.
I can't rest you guys assured that you can increase equipment slots, item slots, and armor slots and stuff. You can increase your backpack if you recruit a person. They charge money. I didn't see any materials like normally games. You gotta get like maybe some cloth or find some crafting materials and pay a fee. But this one, it was just paying the fee. Then you get another person that can like heal you and stuff. Then there's a lot of soldiers. A lot of soldiers. Like just plain armor soldiers all over the castle. And everybody has dialogue. Um, that's pretty much it. You know, there's tents outside with soldiers. There's soldiers inside. There's soldiers on the bottom. Then there's a person you could respect your abilities, like respect your
Skill
points.
tree, so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a person. I think that costs money too. I think that was like 400 to respect. So
Yeah, as I said, it's pretty much like an ARPG fused with a turn-based battle system.
yep, that's
That's exactly what
basically
it is.
what it
It's
is.
a turn-based Diablo game, basically.
That's basically what it is.
And increasing the backpack size is not fixing the problem. That's the loot system, though. Like, you're just carrying more shit with you. It's not fixing the issue.
But I'm thinking this. I think they just want people to explore these dungeons, go in and out and sell, because they do sell a warp stone, like a warp stone item.
Yeah, you can find the nuts too, like the warp nuts too.
Yeah.
But like, the thing is, what I would recommend, what you can do is balance your loot in a way that when I finish the first dungeon, I still have enough slots to get like the spider loot in one go. Like, if you have so much loot that I can't even finish the dungeon in one run without having a full inventory, you're dropping too much shit. Like, I should be able to comfortably finish the first dungeon without having a full inventory on the first floor.
Exactly. And you can't, and you know, you got to keep going in. But I mean, it's expected for you to finish the first floor because there's no person to sell your items to.
Yeah, that's
You know-
that's the thing. You can't trash it, you can't sell it. So all you do is just swapping inventory slots with better gear and swapping your gear for the trash gear and throwing away all the other shit. And that's a lot of menu time in your first dungeon, where it's most important that the player plays your game and not your menu.
Exactly. Even other RPG Maker streamers say you want to keep your players out of the menu as much as possible. It's okay to go
I
in there.
got a lot of feedback on Origins about that. Like, almost everybody who played it was like, oh man, why is that menu not instant? And we're talking about like 20 frames.
Yeah.
When you hit the escape button in Origins, there is this little sliding animation, right? And that's like 20 or 30 frames. And they complain about that. Like, that's half a second. And look at your game, where we spend more time in the menu than playing. That's how bad it is. Like, people complain about a 30 frame time span, and you're having a game where you spend more time in the menu than playing.
Yeah, because people spending money, and when they spend money and time,
It doesn't matter. They have the same complaint when it's free.
yeah,
Well, attention
Are you
spans
gonna
are
say
short.
you're gonna waste your time because the game was free? Is that what you're saying? You're gonna sit there and wait and go in the menu and be in the menu for hours because the game was free?
It's deep.
I don't think so.
No.
That's deep. That is deep. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I'm just making a comparison. Like, as I said, people complain a 30 frame time span. And you have a game where the menu time is larger than your playtime. So that's comparatively how bad it is.
Yep.
All right, so that pretty much sums our 2 cents of this game. So before we leave, guys, we always put a price on the game. You know, how much we would pay for the game if it was a release. Let's start with Harlequin.
0 refund.
As for myself, I'd probably say like if the game was complete and a little bit of the things were fixed, like what we've mentioned, I'd probably say $2.99.
$2.99. I don't know, man. I see a lot more potential in this game than you guys do. For some reason.
Potential doesn't matter. That's the thing. Like, potential is nothing. Every fucking game has potential.
I say $6.99.
Jeez.
$6.99. That's what I said. Look at based on the synopsis. Like I looked at it. Oh man, I'm gonna get replayability, and the fact that they have a feature where your items transfer from one save to another instantly.
Yeah, but all of that doesn't matter if the gameplay is so atrocious that you're just spending all the time in the menu. Who want to replay that?
So the average price of this game is $3.32. So basically $2.99 to be safe. So Cychronic was on the money. Cychronic is on the money. All right, guys. You guys did say 20% is top tier, 40% is mid tier, and 40% is low tier. Well, 50% is mid tier, and garbage tier is 0%.
Yeah, it's certainly not a garbage tier. That's sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, developer Jamon Anderson, keep up the good work. We definitely appreciate, your contribution to the RPG Maker community. You are a brother. You know what I mean? Even though you develop on a different engine than most of developers do nowadays. But, we all create video games for pure pleasure and for our own excitement and try to excite others and give quality games so others can enjoy. So we definitely appreciate your contribution to the community and reaching out to me, and supporting the streams and supporting the podcast, and just, being a man, stepping forward and taking all punches.
Absolutely.
Some people can't even take that. So guys, next week we will be playing a community game where I will be spinning the wheel, and it's going to be elimination. So last man standing.
Let's just roll with elimination. Sure, why not?
Let's do it right now.
Yep, we about to do it right now. I already got the wheel up and ready. So let me go ahead and switch the screen.
Wheel of Doom. Who gets the next dose of hate from the Harlequin?
Exactly. All right, the Wheel of Doom, guys. I got.
You should make an extra scene, like your.
I know.
On your private streams, like the what did we call that again?
The torture chamber.
Yeah, torture chamber. That's what you should do for the wheel too.
I would
make a torture chamber scene for that
with music and stuff. Yeah.
Man, we need that.
All right, so the last game that's remaining is the next game we will play next week, and then after, pretty much we will be spinning the wheel every week, pretty much.
Every 2 weeks.
No, it'll be every week because you choosing the next game, and when we play at the end of your game, we got to spin the wheel because we doing it every week.
Yeah. My bad.
Yes, sir.
My bad.
So first spin, let's go. Mana Raiders is out.
No, I hate that delay on the wheel though. Like it's not even spinning yet on my screen. That's so anticlimactic, man.
Met Gears is gone. That's BT game. The wheel doesn't lie though. Traveler is gone. Oh my gosh.
We got Traveler on the wheel too.
Yes, sir.
Didn't even notice her game here.
The Lonely League is gone. That's one of the new entries. That's one of the new entries. The Lonely League. Finding Chibe.
Oh, Travelers of Fraser was that's a different game.
Yeah, that's that crazy looking game.
Yeah, I thought you meant like from that streamer girl, you know,
Single
the
Malt
Traveler game.
Apocalypse is gone. Single Malt Apocalypse is gone. Maybe it might be Epic Wings.
Oh, please don't.
Dres Deep is gone. That's the game Monkey King picked. But the other game that he picked, I would like to play that. Reroll. Gotta reroll, guys. Gotta reroll. Alright, what's gonna land on? Bird Bunch is out. Starscribe is out. Oh my gosh. Where is the wheel gonna spin? Where is the wheel gonna land? Desperation Reincarnation is out. Desperation Reincarnation is out. Alright. Depths of Insanity is out. Could be Slime Witch Adventure by Mopsy. Maybe. Reroll. A reroll. There's one reroll left, guys. There's one reroll left. There's 3 rerolls in the spin, and that reroll is gone. So you guys do have a chance. You have a chance now. Those are remaining. Stars Within Reach is out of there. Stars Within Reach is out of there. Lodestar is gone. Lodestar is gone. What game is out? Enforcer is gone. We got a reroll and Slime Adventure. No, it's not a Pass in and Slime Adventure is remaining. And the winner, a Slime Witch Magical Adventure by Mopsicus.
Hey, I get to play another Mopsicus game. Let's go.
Slime Witch Magical Adventure by Mopsicus. Mopsicus, you are the winner. So, alright, guys, we're going to end it here for now. And we will see you guys next week with the next community game, a Slime Witch Magical Adventure by Mopsicus. Do any of my co-hosts have anything to say that they want to say before we go?
No, I'm good. I'll see you.
Just happy to be here.
Just happy to be here.
All right, they're good now. They're good. And until next time, guys, don't forget to follow the Discord, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and let your friends know and other developers know that there are individuals who plays RPG Maker games and do talk about them every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely check us out. You may like what you see, and you may find us funny. So all right, guys, we are definitely out.